rare and balanced view on politics in today's world. Based on facts, born of rationality, common sense, and logic, providing context on today's events. This is American Perspective with Rick Thomas.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to American Perspective. You know, I thought that I'd be able to get back to at least somewhat of a normal program, but I'll be honest with you, no. It's probably not going to happen. I mean, I'll you know, obviously the tragedy yesterday, the tragic death of a conservative icon in the public sphere has obviously taken up a large portion of the media. And so everything that I've been reading, everything that I've been doing is all just, it's done nothing but piss me off. So don't be surprised if I go off tonight on a tangent or whatever, or I read something and it just freaking lights me off. I've spent some time on the socials, in particular Facebook and X, where the leftists live, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you are following me on either one of those, especially on X, because that's where I've really mostly been posting all this, you'll know the two words that I have for leftists. And believe me, I don't cuss that much. But even Mrs. Whiskey was telling me just a few minutes ago, she's like, man, I've heard that word out of you today more than I think ever in your lifetime. Let's just say it starts with an F and follows along with F. Starts with F and follows along with the word off. So don't be surprised if I end up getting a little heated tonight. I'm sorry. I apologize only to my Whiskey Warrior P1s who normally, I normally don't do this, but I'm just telling you, I'm done. I'm done. I am so done with these people. Anyway, let's go ahead and try and bring a little bit of normalcy back into it. Let's kick this off. Tonight's Pledge of Allegiance is done by none other than Judge Wild. Judge Wild, of course, if you've not watched his programs, because he has like 4 or 5 of them throughout the day, here on Rumble, you might want to do that. It's Intelligent Talk with Judge Wild in particular. So anyway, I will, we will follow along with Judge as he recites the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you are of mine, please stand, remove your hat if you're wearing one, like me. Place your hand over your heart and follow along with Judge Wild as he recites the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh yeah, hurrah!
All right, and I do thank Judge Wild for that wonderful rendition of the pledge. If you would like to hear your rendition of the pledge played here on the program, all you need to do is record yourself performing or reciting the pledge in your style. Take that audio file, video file, whatever kind of file, and pass it on to me, either via email or by hitting share on your phone app, and send it off to fans, F-A-N-S, at AmericanPerspective.online. That's fans, F-A-N-S, at AmericanPerspective.online. And I will, of course, get you into the rotation. I am looking for number 20. I'm at 19 right now. I'd love to get number 20. Maybe I can convince Jay, where is it? I got to get the name right. Maybe I can convince JLQUE to submit one. Because yeah, let's see what we can do. All right, tonight's headline sponsor, which we all need, especially now because the left, of course, doesn't want to frickin' do this. Today's Thursday, and I forgot to get this up, so just give me just a second to get my script up here. Because, you know, I kind of sort of need the crutch. I'm sure all of my Whiskey Warrior P1s could walk through this without a problem. They're so much smarter than I am. I need a crutch. So anyway, here we go. Institute on the Constitution. The Institute on the Constitution was established in 2004 as a 501c3 nonprofit with one mission, and that is to restore the constitutional republic through grassroots education. All courses and materials are developed using primary source documents and taught from the American view of law and government as defined in the Declaration of Independence in the following 3 key points that leftists, and especially Tim Kaine, don't effing know. 1, there is a God. 2, our rights come from him. And 3, the purpose of civil government is to secure and protect our God-given rights. The IOTC offers the opportunity to educate yourself on our most precious founding document, the Constitution of the United States. They also provide tools to educate your community and get involved with local government. Start by taking their free U.S. Constitution course and go from there. Use my affiliate link, iotc.americanperspective.online, to sign up, and while you are there, take a moment to look through their other course material and information. My affiliate link, once again, is iotc.americanperspective.online to get great content to learn about our historical founding and support the show in the process. That's iotc.americanperspective.online. Or, if you just want to purchase this fabulous Saddleback leather-bound U.S. Constitution to support the show, and for you leftists, maybe learn something about America, go to constitution.americanperspective.online. Take a look at this wonderful book. It's got 1/8 of an inch of Saddleback leather wrapped around pages that are water and tear resistant. It has no cheap glue here. It's stitched all the way through. The leather and the pages contained within. It's got a 100-year warranty against materials and manufacturing defects such that if something does go wrong, you can send it back to the manufacturer, and they will either fix it or replace it for free. It's got sexy rounded corners, and the amendments inside are in numerical order. It is buddy tested, buddy approved, Billy tasted, Billy approved. My youngest Whiskey Warrior has confirmed that the information contained within will help you to study for your civics exam, or get your civics badge in Scouts, I should say. Anyway, yeah, so go to constitution.americanperspective.online. Pick yours up today. Christmas is coming, and you can put it in the stockings of everyone. You'll piss off the leftist in your family, and your conservative family members will appreciate it. Go to constitution.americanperspective.online, and also while you are there, check out the rest of the Institute on the Constitution's offerings. And I appreciate them for allowing me to be an affiliate. All right. Well, I know that the tragedy of yesterday has overtaken in the news, but we also need to recognize that today is the anniversary of the most horrific terrorist attack that has ever hit our soil. It is one of the worst incidences in our history. It totally dwarfs those that the left push, which is January 6th, for an example. But we definitely need to we definitely need to recognize all of the people who were lost in 9/11 and pray for their souls. Therefore, if you don't mind, I will be putting the flag up and we will play taps as a memorial. Please stand. I know it's kind of rough, but please stand if you will, and take your hats off for the moment that it takes to play taps. I hate the fact that I got to do this twice in a week, like one right after the other, but anyway, here goes. In memoriam for all of the 9/11 victims And prayers for their survivors as they deal with this horrific event, even 24 years later. May God have mercy on their souls. All right. Okay. First things first. There was some conversation last night after we had talked about Matthew Dowd. Matthew Dowd was part of MSNBC. He was a political analyst, I guess, for them, and he came on and essentially said a bunch of words that effectively pointed out that that effectively tried to charge Charlie Kirk with his own death. They essentially, thank God, MSNBC got some fucking brains. I'm sorry, that dropped an F-bomb, but yeah. Anyway, they got some brains and they fired his stupid ass. Now, he tried to issue an apology and say that, hey, I'm sorry. He posted it on X or whatever. Yeah, whatever. We don't care anymore. I'm just going to say this right now. I mean, the right, the conservative movement has been coddling, has been tolerant, has been sitting there and essentially allowing the leftists to sort of run rampant. We give them inches. They take miles. We give them small victories in the hopes that it'll satisfy their unsatiable desire for destruction. And they go ahead and just freaking take all kinds of miles from it. And they just run roughshod over us. I'm done. I'm done with that. And there's several others that are done with it too. So if you are a leftist, a lunatic moron, I like I said, I have two words for you, and they are not pleasant, and I do not like using them in my daily speech, but you've pissed me off. Rightfully so. So anyway, Matthew Dowd is fired. They also had a gentleman who is from the Carolina Panthers, and he posted something on social media, and he is gone too. He got fired as well. And that's what needs to happen to these people. Every single one of these people are sick, disgusting individuals. Every single one. And I'm pissed. As well I should be. As well as anybody should be. I'm even pissed that here, this is a guy, I don't even know who this guy is, but he was there, front row center. Front row center. And while everybody else in the crowd is ducking down and hiding from this guy, this is what this guy does. I'm sorry, I didn't have this up. Give me just a second. I gotta get it on the screen. This is why I need a producer. But take a look at this guy. Look at him. Look at this guy. He's celebrating. He's celebrating the fact that Charlie Kirk got shot in front of him. This is who the left is, folks. This right here. Sorry, wrong hand. This right here is who the left is. He's freaking celebrating this. He's standing up while everybody else is cowering, thinking there's going to be an additional shot coming, after seeing the person that they were going to be there to see, a beloved public figure, die right in front of them. This asshole's sitting here celebrating. He's celebrating. And that's not the only one. There were all kinds of celebrations. If you headed off to Blue Sky, the leftist haven of sin, scum, and villainy, you would have seen all kinds of posts regarding Charlie Kirk and the awful, absolute, horrific crap that they were saying about him. Just absolute horrific crap that they were saying about him. Well, I follow this gentleman. His name is Nick. I think it's pronounced Freitas. Could be Freitas. I could be completely wrong on the pronunciation anyway, but he's a former representative, or he is a representative somewhere back east, and I can't think where he is, but he does these little like YouTube shorts and things like that. He has his own podcast. He has done, all kinds of stuff, but he's definitely a conservative individual, and I think he's in Virginia. In fact, I think he even mentions, he mentions it because he is in, believe it or not, James Madison's district. He did a post, and I want to read it to you. It is fantastic. It sums up everything that I am feeling right now. And so here we go. This is Nick Freitas from X. I am told as a state representative, this is the moment where I am supposed to express my heartfelt condolences and then stand in solidarity with those on the other side of the aisle as we condemn political violence and stand unified as one people. But we aren't one people, are we? The truth is, we haven't been for some time now, and there really is no point in pretending anymore, if there ever was. We are two very different peoples. We may occupy the same piece of geography, but that is where the similarities seem to abruptly end. I convinced myself for a long time that whenever the left called me a racist, a bigot, a sexist, a fascist, a threat to democracy, for even the most innocent of disagreements, that it was simply hyperbolic rhetoric done for effect. And now the effect is a widow and 2 orphaned children, because the left couldn't bear the thought of a peaceful man debating them and winning. I don't think they realize it yet, but murdering Charlie is going to be remembered as the day where we finally woke up to what this fight really is. It's not a civil dispute among fellow countrymen. It's a war between diametrically opposed worldviews which cannot peacefully coexist with one another. One side will win, and one side will lose. Charlie Kirk tried to win the fight through argumentation, through discussion, through peaceful resolution of differences, and the other side murdered him. Not because he was extreme or inciting violence, or any other hyperbolic slur that they hurled at him. They murdered him because he was effective, because he was unafraid, because he inspired others and made them feel like they had a voice, that they were not alone. And he did it at the very institutions which have fomented so much hatred toward conservatives. I don't want to stand in solidarity with the other side of the aisle. I want to defeat you. I want to defeat the godless ideology that kills babies in the womb, sterilizes confused children, turns our cities into cesspools of degeneracy and lawlessness, and that murdered Charlie Kirk. Social media is aflame right now with leftist celebration of Charlie's death. I wonder if any among them understand what has just happened. If there is a Yamamoto somewhere in their midst warning all that they have done is woken a sleeping giant. I doubt it. I think they gave up such introspection and self-awareness long ago. I don't exactly know what will happen next. I just know that it won't be the same as what has happened in the past. There will be thoughts and prayers. Charlie would have wanted prayers. Not for himself, but for those left behind, and for the country that he loved. But then there will be a reckoning. My Christian faith requires me to love my enemies and pray for those who curse me. It does not require me to stand idly by in the midst of savagery and barbarism. Quite the opposite. So every time I feel tired, every time I feel discouraged or overwhelmed, I am going to watch the video of a good man being murdered in Utah. I will force myself to watch it, and then I will return to the work of destroying the evil ideology responsible for that and so much more. Rest with God, Charlie. Your fight is over. Ours is just beginning. Nick, sir, I am with you. You have articulated specifically the thoughts that I have had for multiple times throughout this entire event. Folks, the left sits there and tries to tell the right, oh, hey, you guys need to really tone down the temperature, people. I mean, you really do. Yeah, we need to tone down the temperature. Let me explain something to you. For decades now, the right has been attempting to reach across the aisle and work with the leftists. And I mean decades. When Roe versus Wade started and you got the idea to go ahead and kill your babies in the womb, you know what? The Christians in all of us said, you know what? And not only that, but it was the Americans. The Americans who sat here, you know what? Constitutionally speaking, okay, maybe there's an argument for freedom here. And even though there was a bunch of us who sat here and tried to discuss, hey, do you really think you ought to be killing that human baby? You know, the byproduct of what is essentially a miracle. You really think that's what you want to do? Trying to put a little reason, a little logic in these leftists. Yeah, they said no. Then they came for the institution, the biblical institution of marriage. And they said, oh, hey, by the way, you know what? If two homosexual people who are biblically sinning, by the way, two homosexual people want to get married, you know, that should be allowed under the Constitution. And you know what? The conservatives backed off and said, you know what? Yeah, okay, it's really not affecting me. I mean, it's only affecting them, so sure. And now, today, they're talking about stuff like Scott Wiener from California. Scott Wiener from California, who passed that California legislature to make it legally acceptable to have underage sex And by that, I mean for Scott Wiener, like a 40 or 30 or 40 or 50-year-old, whatever, to have sex with somebody under the age of 18 and make it legal. In other words, pedophilia. Oh, but they try and explain away the idea. Oh, no, it doesn't go back that far. I mean, it's just like, if you're 16 or 15 or 14. No. They tried to make that, they're attempting to make that a normalization of the process. And they sit there and they say, oh, you know what? In order to make everybody safer, you need to give up your right to keep and bear arms because it's the gun that's the problem. And so what did a lot of conservatives do in several states? We said, you know what? Yeah, okay. I mean, passing a background check, seriously, I mean, okay, it's a little bit of an inconvenience, but, I'm not really doing anything. And I'm not in the database, so, why should I really care? And now they're coming for the idea that, oh, by the way, hey, you know what? Now we got to pass these red flag laws that if you do something that we don't like or you post something that we don't like, yeah, we can put that forth to a sheriff, and the sheriff unconstitutionally, without due process, can come in and take away your guns. We have spent decades, I don't even want to count anymore, backing down to these assholes. Backing down to these people who are just sitting there, and just because they happen to be loud, allowing it. We have a freaking party. Oops, hold on. We have a freaking party in the city that's just to my south. It's a leftist city. You might know about it. You might have heard about it. It's called Seattle. And they have this festival. And they call it Pride. And you know what they do? They walk around in freaking S&M gear and naked. I'm not talking about models. I'm not talking about what would be considered to be potentially the desire of the human species. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about old farts. People who realistically should be embarrassed about the fact that they're naked. And they're running around, and there's kids everywhere, and they got it all hanging out. They love it. It's that kind of depravity, that kind of thought process that the leftists love. And you know what they said? They said, no, this is pride. I'm proud of who I am. I should be allowed all of this. I mean, conservatives were like, you know what? Okay, fine. It's one day a year, whatever. And then we got Pride Month. And then we have this whole thing where, the leftists who are of the black persuasion sit there and tell us, oh, yeah, well, you know what? Because your great whatever grandfather, held my great whatever, grandfather, you need to pay me for all of that. I need to get reparations. So what do? They push it for taxing. They're going to try and make people who had literally nothing to do with slavery. My ancestors never owned slaves. To the best of my knowledge, they got here in the 1900s, long after slavery had been abolished in both the UK and America. And here, I'm being told that because I happen to have low melanin skin. For those of you that don't know the word melanin, I mean white. Because I happen to have white skin that I need to pay reparations for some jackass who decided that, oh, I can't get off my own ass and get things going for myself. You're living in the greatest country that has ever lived on this planet. You have opportunities that just about anyone else who lives in an oppressive country would kill for. And you sit there and complain about the fact that, my shoes or my iPhone isn't the best. It isn't the newest. So you guys are oppressing me. You're sitting here and you're telling us, yeah, you're doing this. And yeah, this is a actual person who was responding to a post that I put on Facebook that basically said, and this was posted in by an account called Seattle Fun Events. They posted a graffiti of somebody who had written on the wall, "Trump rapes kids." And I simply put as a response, that's a lie. It's defamation and very well could be libel. Yeah, I believe I used the term libel. This is what this fucking jackass, and yes, I'm sorry, but I'm pissed, responded to me with. This is a leftist. For those on the audio program, let me go ahead and read it for you. She says, oh, no, it's true. What's true? What's true? That he rapes kids? First of all, he's never been accused, or, well, let me rephrase that. He's never been convicted of rape. And there is no evidence at this point that he did anything with Epstein either. I don't give a shit about your little freaking, but he's got the 50th birthday letter. Yeah, I don't give a shit about that because I've already told you the linguistics don't line up. And even the signature is a little question. Anyway, she continues. She goes, you see, it takes a pedophile to know one. Guess what? She's trying to say that I am a pedophile. She continues, anyone who defends a pedophile must be involved. I never knew fucking Epstein. I never knew Epstein. I don't live in Florida. Hell, I don't even know Trump. I know his name. I know who he is. Then she continues, and this is how she ends this. You piece of shit, mother effer, go kill yourself. Really? Now, I'm going to point something out to you. This isn't the only one that I've hit with. And believe me, if I had the money and the time, I would be suing every single last one of these leftist, moronic assholes who are doing this. But I'm just going to point something out to you. If you're a leftist within the sound of my voice, I'm going to just point something out to you really, really, really quickly. If you have ever, in any way, shape, or form, used the terms racist, bigot, fascist, let's see, I had a whole list of them. That I'm a threat to democracy. Basically what Nick is saying. Without any zero verified evidence, you are a contributor to the death of Charlie Kirk, to the death of all of those innocent school kids that have been shot in schools across the entire board. Because I'm going to tell you right now, it is your leftist rhetoric, your violent rhetoric. It is your supporting of criminal behavior, your supporting of the fact that mental illness needs to be normalized. That is the problem. You are the problem. You are the problem. You are the cancer that needs to be extracted from the American populace. You are the vile creatures that you claim the right to be. The right has been placating you for the last 2 decades, ever since. You are sick, disgusting people. And like I said, I got 2 words for you, and believe me, they're not happy. They're not good words. It's F and off. Those are the only response to anybody who does this kind of shit. And like I said, this isn't the only one. This was just one of the worst of all of them. I can show you a few others. Let's see. Oh, well, I posted that one, but yeah. Here's another one. Look at this guy. Now, this guy isn't going against me, but look at this guy. Look at these sick individuals. I will never be able to reconcile with any of these individuals. I will never reconcile with these people. These people want nothing but our total destruction. You know, this entire concept and conversations that we've been having about the Israeli-Palestine conflict over in Gaza. Guess what? These morons are exactly the same as the Palestinians. They want peace. They want their space, but when we gave them their space, just like the Gazans from 2006 on, when we gave them their space, what did they do? They stab you in the back. They shake your hand in front and say, "Oh yeah, we're happy now. It's okay. We're good." And they immediately stab you the second your back is turned. America and Americans, if you haven't figured this out yet, there is no reconciliation with these people. Just like there is going to be no reconciliation with Hamas. There's no reconciliation with any terrorist organization. There's no reconciliation with any extremist of any kind. They want what they want. And they're going to get it no matter what we do. And I'm sick and tired of the left sitting here and blaming the right for all of the it's always the right. It's the right. The right is the problem. It's the right who foment violence. Just to listen to what Donald Trump is saying. He's talking about taking over Chicago. Yeah, he's taking over Chicago to save your dumbass butts because you can't frickin' police your own damn streets. He took over D.C. because the D.C. police and the leftist morons who were in charge, who were like, "Oh, you've got to be so peaceful to the criminals. You can't do this. That's, racist or whatever." Yeah. America is done with this. Personally, I hope over the next 3 years, Donald Trump goes scorched earth. I really give a shit. I don't care. As long as he doesn't violate the Constitution, which he has not done. Period. Ever. Because at this point, because you guys don't carry one of these. You don't read one of these. I do. I've read it cover to cover multiple times. I reference it all the time. Don't tell me I have no freaking clue what I'm talking about when it comes to the Constitution. I'm a student of the Constitution, you morons. And I'm getting tired of all you leftists saying, "Oh, he's violating The First Amendment, he's taking away our speech. No, he didn't. Biden took away conservative speech. Biden worked with NGOs to censor conservative speech. This is sick and disgusting. I am so freaking frustrated with these people. I'm so done. There's a piece in the Federalist. There's a piece in the Federalist that I am completely behind. Now, granted, it's an opinion piece. It was written by John Daniel Davidson, but I'm 100% behind this. The title says, "We need to bring back mass incarceration and involuntary commitment." Yeah, we do. If anything, if that Ukrainian refugee, and believe me, looking at that that video was sick and horrible and disgusting. It was just as bad as Charlie Kirk's horrible and disgusting video. And here, I mean, you can see a picture. This is the photo. This is right after this asshole in the red hoodie, who is a mentally ill felon, basically killed her within seconds for no reason. He should never have been allowed on the streets. By the way, reports are that the judge that let him out, now understand, I'm just going to say this. I personally don't think that there's any kind of qualification for a judge to actually have to be a lawyer. I can understand why, but especially for the SCOTUS, as an example. But apparently the judge who let this guy go has never even passed the bar, was never a lawyer at all. I don't even know how the hell a judge in today's day and age, because God knows the left keeps talking about, you can't be a judge without being a lawyer. And she's a judge. And she let this asshole loose. Folks, we need to get back to the rule of law. And don't sit here and give me this whiny, crying, but, ICE running off into Home Depots and picking up all the Spanish-speaking people are, all of those people, you're picking them up there. That's racist. I have 2 words for you. And following those 2, I have 3 more. I don't care. If you're here legally, you have the proper paperwork, or if you're a United States citizen and have the proper paperwork, you will be detained for a short period of time until your ID is verified. Then you will be let go. If not, deport your ass. You do not belong here. I don't care if you're here because you want to make a better life for yourself. If you are not here to assimilate into our society, if you are not here to embrace the same values, the same foundational principles that this country is founded upon, forsaking your old country and swearing allegiance to the United States the way that it is constitutionally supposed to be, you don't belong here. You can go back home. You are not, and I am done with this, you are not turning there into here just because you left there because you didn't like there, but now you don't like here. And for anyone who's an American who sits here, who was born here, who was who has profited from the opportunities and the bountiful nature of the American people. And yes, I'm talking about you Hollywood types like Rosie O'Donnell as a perfect example. You want to leave, go. Drop your effing passport in the box on your way out the door and never come back. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you are against the Constitution, which you are, by harboring illegals, by putting them in front of Americans, by wanting to censor the speech of Americans, by saying that a conservative who wanted to have an open and honest free debate in front of crowds of people and allow those people to make up their own minds based on the information being presented by both sides, and was doing it in a respectful manner, who got shot, assassinated. And you're sitting there and you're applauding that and you're saying, oh, no, conservatives, no, conservatives. Or even better yet, Christians. Yeah. No. I got 2 words for you. I'm done with all of this. You people are the ones that are causing the problems. You people are the ones that are making our country into a extreme society. You people are the ones who are causing the divisiveness. It started all the way back under Obama, who talked about the bitter clingers who cling to their rifles and their Bibles in the flyover country of America. That they don't understand, that they don't have the knowledge or the understanding for the Enlightenment, that their Constitution is outdated and it's just a piece of paper. I got 2 words for you. You don't like this country? I frankly don't give a damn. Leave. Don't let the door hit you or the good Lord effing split you. Get out. Why sit there and put all this effort to try and change a place into something that you think is utopia? Why not go somewhere where you believe that utopia exists? Guys, I would have to find... let me see here. I would have to find the... they're looking, by the way, for those of you on the audio portion of the program, my Whiskey Warrior P1s are asking me where this person is. It wouldn't actually surprise me if she was some sort of a freaking bot or whatever, to be honest with you, because... I mean, it looks like it. She has like only 166 friends. That's it. Whatever. Anyway, I would have to find the original post. Let me see if I can get it out of here. Ooh, I might be able to. Hang on. Let's see. Where is... There it is. There's the comment. And here is the account. So it is still live, people. It is still live. Here, I'll even drop the link in the chat. Here we go. Here's the link in the chat for this leftist moron's account. There it is. Anyway, so there you go. Go ahead. All right. Let me go back to what I was... Anyway, I'm sorry. You guys got me distracted off my rant, which is good because I was really on a roll there. But yeah, I'm done. I'm so done with you people. You just can't even imagine. All right. Well, thankfully, Trump is going to do something. Here in the Daily Fetched, Trump declares war on the left-wing violence. He made a statement, and I got to tell you, this statement, the statement that he made, pissed the left off, and I frankly don't give a crap. Because I mean, what he said in there was actually very true. He basically said, for years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today. It must stop right now. He also has vowed to find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund and support it. He said this action will expand to go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. This is the right thing. This is the right thing. Whether you like it or not, leftists, you brought this on yourselves. You really did. You brought this on yourselves. And they sit there and talk about how Trump needs to be unifying, that he needs to unify the country. There is no unification with sick bastards like yourselves. There is no unification with people who literally do not care about the sanctity of human life. There is no reconciliation with people who, just because you have a different political viewpoint than they do, you are automatically a bigot, a racist, a fascist, a Nazi. You're Hitler. There is no reconciliation with these people. And I'm not going to reconcile with you. You can forget it. You can totally forget it. Now, Donald Trump has announced that he will be awarding the Presidential Medal of Freedom to Charlie Kirk posthumously. Rightly deserved. Although, honestly, I think it would have been better off to have it, or for him to have gotten it about 30 years from now, after he was essentially did whatever he was going to do. The guy was a whirlwind. Charlie Kirk, man, I got to tell you, at 18, creating his own organization, taking it to as big as it was, you can go back to last night's episode and hear all about Charlie Kirk. But I'm just telling you right now that this is a turning point, literally, and I don't mean that facetiously, nor do I mean for it to be a tongue-in-cheek. This is the turning point. See, I was willing, honestly, to, at least sit down and discuss things with you. And if you're a moderate Democrat or a Democrat with some actual brains who wants to discuss the issues, I'm fine with that. I'll sit and talk to you. But the minute that you go and start calling me all these names, because you're losing the argument, by the way, and that's part of the problem, is that you sat here and, the minute that you start losing the argument, you immediately drop to the name calling and the ad hominem attacks and all these other crap things because you're losing. And you have lost. You just don't even know it yet. You have lost. And you're going to continue to lose. Keep it up, leftists. Seriously. When you were a little less loud, a little less obvious, a little less desiring of the destruction of the United States, there were many people who were like, well, it really doesn't matter to me. Why should I care? Not anymore. This is a battle for the soul of this nation. And this nation was founded on Judeo-Christian principles and values. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are bound by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments must be instituted among men. See, Tim Kaine forgot that shit. Tim Kaine forgot that. He is a leftist lunatic moron. And I'm tired of this. If you're an independent who is sitting and watching this program and thinks that the left is possibly the way to go, that the Democrats are, oh no, the Democrats, they're going to be moderate. They won't be extremist. Bullshit. The Democrat Party is no longer the Democrat Party. They are the Marxist Party. They are the Socialist Party. They are the extremist party. They want nothing but the destruction of this great nation. Never vote for a Democrat. Ever again. That party needs to be completely dismantled and abolished. Gone from the face of this country forever. They've lost their right to exist because they have decided to use violent rhetoric and allow criminals and mentally ill individuals who should be locked up free to kill innocent people. I hope this comes out 2026, man. I sincerely hope this is the biggest red wave that has ever been. I'm talking like Ronald Reagan landslide red wave. It is time for these people to get out of our government. It is time for us to turn back toward our Judeo-Christian roots, to go back to the principles and values that founded this country and get back on track. Because if we don't, folks, the violence is going to continue. And trust me, it's going to get worse before it gets better. All right, a couple of really quick items that I've been, with regards to Charlie Kirk. Now, this has since possibly been retracted, but the Wall Street Journal reported earlier today that the ammunition that was found in the rifle, that was found wrapped in a towel underneath a tree near the campus, that the ammunition that was found within there, first of all, there was the brass. For those of you that don't know, this is it's the shell casing, was still in the chamber, meaning that the shooter did not bother to cycle the action because it was a bolt-action hunting rifle that was used. But apparently the ammunition inside that round, plus the other 3 rounds that were not fired as a part of the magazine, had engraved on it transgender and anti-fascist ideology. Now, reportedly, according to the New York Times, that has since been rescinded. However, I have yet to see that other than the New York Times. The New York Times, of course, is a propagandist outlet and a lying outlet. They have been caught in lies many, many times. So I do not trust the New York Times at all. Wall Street Journal, I am barely hanging on to, only because of the fact they seem to be the only outlet that is necessarily reporting this. That being said, a person of interest is being sought right now by the FBI. This is the individual who apparently is the person of interest. Now, this is not necessarily the shooter. However, that being said, they're questioning whether or not this guy may or may have some involvement. When they call you a person of interest, that means that you have the likelihood of being involved in some way until they clear you. And this gentleman, from the pictures, and granted, they're really bad. They're not the best. Kind of grainy. But he's wearing a ball cap. He's wearing sunglasses. His skin appears to be, potentially, darker in color, but this does not necessarily indicate that this person was any kind of particular ethnicity at this point in time. He could be a white person who's just tan because Utah gets really sunny. But this is reportedly the individual. And here's a little bit more of a close-up on him. Now, I can tell you that this is a person of interest. Now, you can kind of see some sort of a flag, colored decal, might be, an American eagle or something flying in front of it. I mean, I don't know. But this individual is being sought right now, and I don't know if they've captured him. But this was the last time that I saw. Was that? So for those of you who are on the left who sit there and say, "Oh, this isn't a leftist. This isn't a leftist." Yeah, it is. I can almost guarantee you it is. I can almost guarantee you this is because of the ideology that Charlie Kirk promoted versus the leftist ideologies that have been sought after and the violent rhetoric that have basically been thrown around about Charlie Kirk. Anyway. All right, folks, I've gone over my time. Anyway, if you haven't already, do me a favor, head on over to rumble.com, get yourself an account. It's free. Once you are signed up and signed in, make sure that you search up the American Perspective channel and hit that green follow button to get notified every time that I go live. Also, too, I'd appreciate a thumbs up or thumbs down across all of my platforms. I really don't care which. I mean, it would be nice to have all thumbs up, but anyway, across all of my platforms, whether it's X, YouTube, Facebook, or, of course, the aforementioned Rumble. We will see you tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on American Perspective. And don't forget to keep Charlie Kirk's family in your prayers tonight, as well as the 9/11 survivors. And, we will see you tomorrow night. Have a great rest of your evening, and good night, everybody.